This was my grandfather's World War II fighting knife. It's the PAL RH 36, marked on the blade here. He gave this to me before he passed away. And I don't want to restore it, like refurbish it and get it all shiny, because this looks like it did the day he gave it to me. The only thing I would like to do with it though is there's at least one piece of the leather stack handle missing out of this, and the slack had been taken up with a piece of heavy wire wrapped around the shank between the blade and the finger guard there. I'd like to take that off, and if I can get this pin out of there without disturbing the parkerized finish on this aluminum hilt here, if I can drive that pin out carefully, I should be able to take off the stack of leather and replace it with a new piece of leather. And I would want to carefully shape that so that I don't abrade the surrounding leather. What I'd probably do is shape it on a different mandrel somewhere else and just put it in place. Before I take this heavy piece of wire off that's bent around there, I'm going to make sure that I can successfully get this off. If I can't easily, I'm not going to mess with it. I'll just leave it the way it is. But if I can get that pin out, I'm going to redo a piece of leather. Now, to be as gentle as possible on this pin and the surrounding, I don't know, that hilt or pommel, what do they call that? I'm going to use this piece of dried cherry twig, and I'm going to shave this down into a hardwood punch and try to drift that pin back out of there. Now this just mushrooming out the end of my hardwood, so the hardwood's not going to work. Try this, let's see how this does. I think that moved it. Yeah, that's bringing it out of there. Use just a little bit of lubricant. It takes a lot harder hits than what I'm comfortable with. A little bit more. Perfect. Go. Now to mark on the parkerized pommel. Okay, now I need to gently remove that wire. Careful that blade, because it is still extremely sharp, and all I would need to do to cut myself is bump against it. Okay, that's the amount of gap I've got to take up. Now what I plan on using as a source of the leather is this old belt that broke off, but I think that this will fill the gap nicely. Okay, that, all right, now you can see that once I slid that down, they're loose, at least on this end. I do not want to break any more of those buggers. I know these from here down are loose, but the rest of them still seem pretty tight, and I don't know if these were glued when they were put together. I need to fight the urge to want to grab onto that blade. That would not go well. So these are loose. This top one, I don't know about that. This top one here is a hard plastic. Maybe the lubricant here. Maybe one of these old stamped steel wrenches. Maybe I can put that in there. Gently tap. Bring over my little bench handle. Need a more abrupt surface to strike against. Get more shock than against wood. Okay, they are loosening up little by little, so I'm going to increase the gaps on some of the other ones and get the lubricant more distributed throughout the stack. Running line. This last one, is that leather or is that a piece of that plastic? That's leather. So you know what? I wonder if it wasn't a piece of leather that came off here. I wonder if it was the piece of plastic, because these typically had a piece of this black plastic on each end. Maybe I don't need leather. Maybe I need to try to find a piece of black hard plastic like that. And then I could put that against there and that would restore it more authentically, because I was expecting this final piece here to be plastic, and that's definitely leather. All right, let me see what I can find for plastic around here. All right, I think I found just the thing. A while back I cut up a black plastic 55-gallon barrel to use for some stuff, and I still had some little scraps of it laying around, and it seems to be the perfect thickness that I need. And some of the pieces are exactly big enough to do the part I need. Actually, it's got to come up along this side here. So I need to trim that, or I need to mark it. Okay, cut that out now. Okay, that's going to fit there. I think the time I get done with this, it's going to be shiny enough and it's going to be thick enough that nobody will suspect that it's a totally different material than the one on the other end that was original. But the wonderful thing about it is, from my perspective, it's not going to be any less authentic than the wire that's been wrapped around that tang under the finger guard for decades. See if I'm getting it close by putting it on here. I think I like that right there. Nice and tight. I like that. It turned out really well. So he's been gone for 40 years. And this knife has been sitting there waiting for this day ever since. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share.